Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the high-grade Legend Gundam. The absolutely over-the-top, Dragoon system-equipped second stage mobile suit from Gundam Seed Destiny. This kit right here came out in January 2026, costing around 3,000 yen or $21 from those awesome people over at HobbyLink Japan. And speaking of which, that's where I got mine, link in the description. Now let's get right on into the review. So jumping right on into the aesthetics, I will mention that this is solid as a rock, which is nice plastic on plastic build. And I will also mention that this is what this kit looks like right out of box with absolutely nothing extra done whatsoever. And it is beautiful. When it does come to the overview of the high-grade Legend Gundam right here, it is absolutely astounding out of box. It looks fantastic. Now it is really nice to see Bandai update old vintage kits to, well, kits from the modern era, and you might think it's a little bit extreme to call the older version of the Legend Gundam vintage, but technically that's exactly what it is. Just in case you don't know, there's two versions of this kit available. The high-grade Legend Gundam there on the right, which is from 2005, making it a 21-year-old kit, which is technically vintage. And the one we are looking at today, which is the brand new one, which is the high-grade Cosmic Era version. This one's brand new, this one's beautiful, and this one is an absolutely modern build. But yeah, when it does come to the overview of the looks, this looks absolutely incredible. There's something about it that kind of mixes a whole bunch of different Gundams together. We've got obviously the Providence Gundam giving it that big old backpack round back, but we've got some very Destiny looking aspects to it too, some Strike looking aspects melted in there as well, and we do have some old school 80s Gundam Zeta going on in here. Overall, it's a very incredibly nice looking mix of some famous mobile suits. So popping the Legend Gundam down side by side with the actual art of the Legend Gundam from the anime, you can see that it's pretty much 100% color accurate. I'm not seeing anything missing whatsoever, even down to the minutia. The only thing that's kind of been changed on this is there's been some obvious tweaks to the overall proportions, especially the shoulders look a little bit smaller, and the Dragoons look a whole lot longer. But then again, these art images aren't always indicative of what the mobile suit looked like in the actual anime. And just for a little bit of fun, I'm going to do something that I like to do personally, and maybe you'd like to see it again. I like to see what some mobile suits with over-the-top and kind of overly distracting backpacks look like when you pop them off. Now, interestingly enough, those side pipes come off of it as well. The backpack adapter is inside of it, so it means you could probably cut some of this away and modify it for popping it onto whatever Gundam model kit you want, so it's not a direct attachable backpack, but probably moddable. And we actually do have the regular backpack adapter in underneath that, so I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but I want to try it out. So it's kind of just become a thing at this point where I like to try out the Gundam Aerials backpack on pretty much every Gundam. I'm not necessarily sure as to why, it's just a case of it's always around me somewhere, and there it is, it pops on somewhat awkwardly. As you can see, there is a little bit of a collision in there. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it does hold on. And just in case you've ever wondered what the Legend Gundam looks like as an actual normal Gundam without the big old backpack, this is pretty much what you'd get right here. Spray it down in a typical Gundam color scheme and you might have yourself something that looks like a typical Gundam. I don't have my Destiny around anywhere handy, but I do have my Strike Freedom, so let's try out something from Gundam Seed Destiny, and oh, strange. This does line up fairly decently, but the pegs do not hold in there well, so they'd need to be thickened up somewhat, or maybe even cemented in if you did want to make a custom something like this. It does hold on somewhat, but not entirely perfectly. There we go. An alternate timeline version of the Providence Gundam. No, it's the Legend, not Providence. Looks kind of like the Providence, but it isn't. When it does come to the model kit sins, aka nubs, seam lines, and molds, this gets away pretty much decently. Now I do have a couple of nasty bites that could probably do with being cleaned up a little bit due to the angle I cut it at, but for the most part, it doesn't actually nub up too much. Again, if you took a little bit more care with it than I did right here, you probably would get next to nothing on it. Again, you should nip from a distance and sand them down to keep it fully clean, but again, it doesn't gate up or nub up too much. The seams for the most part are actually where lines or panel lines would be, so they're not too obvious overall, and this is a very nice design. Even up on the head, which could be a section to get a lot of seam lines, you're not really getting anything at all. How about up on the upper thigh, which tends to be the mold line central of Gundam? No. Overall, this is impressive. Alright, so zooming on into the Providence to get a little bit closer to check out everything that we can check out. Again, this is what this kit looks like right out of the box. No panel lining, no cleanup, absolutely nothing, and it is impressive. In the head, we've got lots of nice color separation, including the Vulcans coming through from inside of the head. We do have stickers for use on the eyes and the head cameras, but overall the color separation looks phenomenal. I did also clean up the safety flags up on the V-fin, in case you're wondering. Moving down to the torso, and just as impressive as the actual head itself, we've got the venting inside the chest colors separated. All the colors you want to see, the red, the navy blue, the gray, it's all here. And the actual molding to the kind of panels and the facets of the surfaces all just look great. Again, this right here is what the kit looks like with its backpack off. There it is from the back. We would have some tubes running in under the armpit zone if the backpack was attached on. We do have even color separation in that bottom thruster, which honestly is pretty insane. Shoulders in here are big, long, pointy, look beautiful. We do have a thruster in underneath with a little bit of articulation. Red on top, definitely could do with a little bit of panel lining, but the detailing is amazing. It is the same color underneath the shoulder as the outer armor. Sometimes you might want to paint that in gray yourself to make it look more technical, armored up, but still straight out of box, looking good. When it comes to the arms, overall they're a little bit on the plain side. The mold is absolutely fantastic. We've got a little bit of an attachment point around the elbow. The hands giving that serious Destiny feel. And again, no major issues overall to mention pretty much anywhere. Moving on down to the waist unit, once again looking good. We've got some nice crisp molding overall. The vent in the actual crotch is some of that navy blue coming through from that upper segment. And we've got some red venting in the front. One funny thing about the actual design of the Legend Gundam is the butt flap is exactly the same as the front flap. Not something you see that often. The side skirting armors in here are straight up Dragoons, which is pretty cool, so these do have nice color separation, especially the little red sections coming through from underneath, overall looking good. And finally, the leg designs in here serving up some serious Zeta Gundam vibes. Again, fairly standard up top of the upper leg, large lower legs with some great color separation including white venting, navy blue details, and even this vent section right here is actually color separated to have gray inside. Overall, beautiful. Same round back. So popping the backpack on and actually getting this on here kind of cracks me up a little bit. Getting this Gundam in frame is, well, quite difficult because adding these onto the back, or should I say the backpack with the Dragoons onto the back of this, almost doubles the height of it. So most of the time the Gundam itself is squished down into the lower part of the frame like you're seeing right here. But overall it's a cool looking backpack. Back and front, beautiful, and the tiny red detailing all over the place is absolutely mwah. So anyway, jumping on into that full 360-degree spin so you can see absolutely every aspect of this kit for yourself. And all I can say is, well, it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. It is really nice to see Bandai take a classic Seed design and give it the same level of detail as the Seed Freedom kits. This is based on the Seed action system inside of it. It's a plastic on plastic build, fantastic mold on pretty much all of the elements of this kit, and it's essentially 100% color accurate out of box. This is insane. This is beautiful. Personally, the Legend Gundam was never really one of my favorite Seed designs, but when you get a good kit of a mobile suit, it can completely change your mind. So jumping on into a size comparison now, and you can see head height wise, the Legend Gundam is pretty much your average size Gundam. The backpack just gives it that extra height. On the left there, we've got the high grade Freedom Gundam. On the right, the high grade Strike Freedom Gundam, high grade Mighty Strike Freedom, high grade Gundam Barbatos, high grade Gundam EX, and the high grade Gundam RX-78-2. Alright, so jumping on into the accessories, and here we've got the standard Gundam loadout of sword, board, and beam rifle. The sword being a pair of beam sabers, the board being a beam shield, the beam rifle being a beam rifle, and we do have some extras in here, including some nice clear pink effects, as well as one alternate left expressive hand. So overall, nice spread. So when it comes to the hands in here, we've got a grand total of 3. That's the standard Gundam holding hands with the hole through them, as well as one widespread left alternative hand. The sculpt on these is nice, especially that extended angle widespread version. When it comes to the attaching onto the hands, it's super simple. These are ball joints. They just pop in just like so. They look good. And I'll also mention when it comes to stand compatibility, there is no stand included with this kit, but it attaches onto your usual 3mm peg stand. And if you're curious as to the one that I use right here, this is just Good Smile Company's simple stand. You can get about 3 of these for about $10 now. The best high-grade stands going till this day. I love them. They've got screws in the side so you can tighten them up no matter how heavy your high grade is. Well, unless it's like an Alizeus or something like that. But otherwise, we'll do the job perfect. When it comes to the equipment, first up in here we've got a pair of beam sabers with pink beams and relatively standard handles down here besides the fact that they're grey and the fact that they've got that Gundam Seed Darth Maul effect where you can actually attach them both end to display them double-ended, just like so. Popping these into the hand is simply just slide them on in like so. That's what it looks like. as a single beam saber, and attaching them, well, together is super simple. Just tilt her on up, they attach end to end like so, and there you go. Super simple to pull off. When these are not in use, storing these is pretty damn awesome. You just whip them out of the hand like so, take the beams off them, and we've got these panels that pull out on the sides of the legs like so. There's a hole in these, you throw the beam saber business end in, and then they just close up seamlessly. Pretty beautiful. So next up in here, we've got the beam rifle. At first glance, this looks really good, but if you can kind of notice the shine on some of the parts there, this is quite sticker heavy. So I didn't mention the sticker sheet while I was actually talking about the aesthetics on this kit, because most of these don't go on the robot. On the robot, we've only got the eye stickers as well as the head camera stickers. The rest are for the accessories. So as you can see, we've got a lot of white ones, some red ones, and some blue ones. The blue and the red aren't the worst. They're actually for attaching onto these segments here. I'd recommend just hitting them with a bit of paint. It would look a whole lot nicer, and it's easy to color raised sections like that. As for the white back here, that white is stickers. All the white along the length is stickers, as well as on the end right here. Now, good news, not everything is stickers. Those little dark sections there are coming through from the under layer. And the white section on the end of the sight, that is also not a sticker. That's actually a white part. There's a sticker in underneath that's actually been quite nicely executed. As for moving parts, we do have a tuck away handle with a little peg section on it. Attaching this into the hand is super simple. You don't even have to open the hand up. It just slides on in, just like so. And even though it is a little bit on the sticker heavy side, overall, it works out quite well, and it still looks nice, even when the stickers aren't on there. When the beam rifle is not in use, just pop it out of the hand, you're able to fold it like we saw before. This peg sticking out then attaches onto the backpack just like so, for storage around on the back, which actually looks insanely cool. Next up in here, we've got the shield, and just like in Seed Destiny style, this is a beam shield. Has a nice little bit of an, I think, a pearlescent coating going on. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of a blue hue going in the reflection right there. It's vigorous enough, looks good. Anyway, in order to attach on the shield, you just grab the holding hand like this, pop the white section off the back of it like so. The shield attaches in where the white segment was. You attach the white segment in to finish it all off, and then you just pop it on like a standard hand. This actually works out really well. Some beam shields out there are a little bit on the finicky side. This is not one of them. This works out well, and there it is in a little bit of a pose. Rock solid like the rest of the kit, and impressive. So finally in here, of course, we've got the Dragoons. We've got 8 of the smaller ones. They look like this while attached. We've got a 3mm hole in the back for mounting these onto whatever you want to. We've got the larger ones up top. These pop off like so. These have some great detail. The red segments are looking fantastic. And around in the bottom end, we do have a hole for, again, base attachment. When it comes to the larger 2 Dragoons, we do have some effect parts for using with these. These are these almost like plus-shaped effect parts, which do have hinges in them, so you can actually hinge the effect parts forward. These can pop on like so, like plus-shaped blades, or you can bring them all the way to the front like pointed blades for attacking. If you do have enough stands lying around, you can attach all 10 of these up in the air. Probably something like the Witch from Mercury style stands would be the best, because they can attach into an action base with the kit for a full display coming from the one base, but any 3mm pegged stand will do. I'm using 2 different ones here so you can see what it's like, and in the end, this right here is what you get. So jump now into the articulation, and first off, this is rock solid. Even though it's got a huge, massive backpack, it's got plastic on plastic strong joints, so it's got no issues standing up, even though it's got that big backpack, and nothing is loose. That I could have attached on a little bit better, but nothing is loose on this. I wanted to take this off anyway, just for the articulation, but I guess it did me the favor. So anyway, as usual, getting into the usual position, and this flows very nicely. Usually I don't do this in real time, but everything works out nicely. We've got a little bit of a limited joint on that side, so you can't really tuck the ankle in as much as you would like to, but overall not too bad. Good rotation there. Nice ab crunch actually for a kit that I would expect to have next to no ab crunch. The arms are absolutely phenomenal, and that right there is pretty much what we get. So yeah, when it does come to the articulation on the high-grade Legend Gundam, it's only a bit limited at the hips and the ankles, but besides that, it's pretty much as good as we've been seeing from high-grade seed kits so far. Alright, so moving through the articulation one by one, again, this is plastic on plastic joint, so it is rock solid. Lightweight too. At the neck, we've got a giggity goo, so we've got a bit of a hinge at the bottom, a ball joint up top. It can look around quite decently, but it is a little bit limited. The head clashes around back, so the up and down could be a little bit better. Actually, the down's great, up could be a bit better. When it comes to the arms, they are attached in via a ball joint in the shoulder. This joint moves forward to back like so, which allows the shoulder to move back and forward like this. On top of that, we do have the full ball joint swivel rotation. The shoulder does move independently to the arm, down and up moving thruster, There's the arm moved all the way up. Full bicep rotation. Double jointed bend at the elbow. Ball jointed wrist. Very, very nice ab crunch. Nice side to side crunch. Full rotation all the way around. Front skirts can move up just like so. Side skirts are on a ball joint so they can rotate like that, back and forward. Premium butt flap, same movement as the front flap. A second side-to-side crunch that is actually built into the frame of the waist unit, which is incredible. When it comes to the kick, there's the kick all the way up to the front, a little bit blocked. Out to the back, very nice. And there is the splits. Full rotation at the upper leg. Very nice double-jointed knee bend. Armor flap here moves up and down like so. Opening hatch gimmick in the side of the leg. Ball joint attachment of the foot so it can move forward and back like that. Side to side is quite limited, and sadly no movement at the foot whatsoever, so no toe bend. So yeah, overall the body of the Legend Gundam right here is incredibly poseable. Overall, you're going to get essentially any and every pose you want out of it, but it's a little limited touching the ground because the hips and the ankles could be a little bit better. When it comes to the giant backpack, this is ridiculously impressive. First off, it can actually move forward and back at this hinge right here, spread open and close slightly just like this right here, and flap open and closed at this point so it can actually move back out the way entirely. This has a lot of incredible movement to it. On top of that, each of these side dragoons can actually move forward and back like so, and they do have a locking mechanism that pushes in that stops them from moving. Now, it is actually kind of hard to pull these out. I find actually moving them to the front, then unclicking them actually works the best to get them moving, but when they're locked in, they do not move at all. Anyway, once again, that is what the Legend Gundam looks like in the usual pose, so it can really do this quite well. Again, the ankles could be a little bit better, but this is a kit you do want up in the sky, and there it is, up in the sky in a little bit of a pose. Overall, this is rock solid and super poseable, and a joy to get into poses. High grades have come a long way, and this is a great one for a pose. So anyway, that right there is it for my review of the high-grade Legend Gundam, and this is a phenomenal kit. It got gold tier on the verge, the border of platinum tier, and depending on your own preferences, you could call it platinum tier. I consider a kit that is 4 out of 4 or platinum tier to be an absolutely perfect kit. 5 out of 5 is really just for a kit that does something absolutely extreme, is why I call them EX tiers, because it's EX Gundarium making it extreme. This is just extreme fantastic. Anyway, when it comes to the aesthetics, I give this the 4 out of 5, making it absolutely perfect. Everything about it is beautiful, it's fully color accurate out of box and does come to the robot itself, and all the details are exactly where they need to be. Color separation fantastic, and overall it just is highly impressive. It just doesn't do anything too out there. Otherwise, a perfect looking high-grade Legend. When it comes to the articulation in here, exactly the same thing goes. This is pretty much perfect. The only thing it's lacking is a little bit more ankle and hip movement, but besides that, you'll get every pose you want out of it. What they've done around in the backpack is incredible. It moves in ways I never expected a Providence-style backpack to move. It looks nice, it moves nice, there's so much detail in the simplistic yet perfect articulation on this. When it comes to the accessories, this is the only thing that I had to mark down a little bit from the 4 out of 5 this kit really kind of is. It's the only kind of aspect about this kit that wasn't Platinum tier. This is mainly just because the amount of stickers on the beam rifle. Otherwise, everything else is very nice. The Dragoons are great, beam sabers are normal, but they store away fantastically. Beam shield is beautiful, and it is just the colors on the beam rifle that let it down ever so slightly, but otherwise, pretty damn great. Lastly then, when it comes to the build, I didn't do the build in this actual video, but this was such a joy to put together. Easy to cut out, super easy to clean up, you didn't have to do much at all, and I didn't even do any kind of panel lining or anything to this kit. What it looks like right here is what it looks like out of box. Perfect build, great color separation, rock solid, poses well, holds the poses, essentially a perfect kit, definitely. This right here, highly recommended from me. Anyways, always thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews. I got mine through Hobby Link Japan, link in the description, and as always, I will see you next time. As always, all of this would not be possible without each and every single one of you guys who watches my videos, and at the end of this video I have to give special thanks to those who support me on the channel memberships and over on Patreon, including Christopher Hamzy, Dismas, Caleb Engelhart, Joe, Orgy59061, Scotty Thomas, Simon, Van Fawn, and Stephen Collier.